The Art of Solitude by Stephen Batchelor is a profound reflection on the concept of solitude in the modern world. Batchelor, a seasoned practitioner of meditation and Buddhist philosophy, delves deeply into the nature of being alone, challenging conventional notions of solitude as something negative or lonely. He approaches solitude as an essential practice, offering a perspective that encourages readers to view being alone not as a deficiency, but as a path toward self-discovery, clarity, and deeper understanding. The book is a mixture of philosophical musings, personal anecdotes, and reflections on the role of solitude in both spiritual and secular contexts. Batchelor begins by addressing the universal fear of being alone and the tendency to fill our time with distractions. He notes that in contemporary life, solitude has become a rare and undervalued state, often associated with loneliness or isolation. However, he argues that solitude, when embraced with mindfulness, can become an enriching practice that leads to personal growth. Instead of seeing it as a state of deficiency or punishment, Batchelor encourages the reader to see it as an opportunity for introspection, creativity, and inner peace. In this sense, solitude is not an escape from the world, but a way to deepen one's engagement with it. The book explores the various ways in which solitude has been understood across different cultures and spiritual traditions. Batchelor brings in insights from Buddhist teachings, where solitude is often seen as essential for meditation and enlightenment. He explains that in Buddhism, solitude is not about being detached from the world but about creating a space in which one can observe the mind and find clarity. This meditative solitude is about quieting the noise of the external world so that one can listen deeply to their inner experience. Batchelor emphasizes that such solitude is a practice, one that requires intention, mindfulness, and patience. Throughout the book, Batchelor discusses how solitude can help individuals cultivate a deeper relationship with themselves. He writes about the importance of being comfortable with one's own company, without relying on external validation or the need for constant interaction with others. This kind of solitude, Batchelor argues, is necessary for self-reflection and personal growth. It allows individuals to understand their own thoughts and emotions, to process them, and to discover what truly matters to them. By spending time alone, we can confront our fears, desires, and insecurities, allowing us to live more authentically and with greater self-awareness. At the same time, Batchelor acknowledges that solitude is not always easy. In a world that prizes social interaction, achievement, and productivity, choosing to spend time alone can feel uncomfortable or even painful. Batchelor doesn't shy away from this reality. Instead, he explores the discomfort that often accompanies solitude and suggests that it is. At the same time, Batchelor acknowledges that solitude is not always easy. In a world that prizes social interaction, achievement, and productivity, choosing to spend time alone can feel uncomfortable or even painful. Batchelor doesn't shy away from this reality. Instead, he explores the discomfort that often accompanies solitude and suggests that it is in this discomfort that transformation can occur. He points out that when we are alone, we are forced to confront the things we often avoid or suppress. Yet, it is through this confrontation that we begin to heal and grow. By sitting with our discomfort, we learn to embrace our imperfections and find peace within ourselves. The book also explores the role of solitude in creativity and intellectual life. Batchelor suggests that many of the greatest thinkers, artists, and writers throughout history have found their most profound insights in moments of solitude. He argues that it is in quiet moments, free from the distractions of the outside world, that our minds can fully engage in deep thought and creative expression. For Batchelor, solitude is a fertile ground for the cultivation of new ideas, insights, and artistic endeavors. In solitude, we can hear the whispers of our own creativity, which might otherwise be drowned out by the noise of modern life. In addition to personal and creative growth, Batchelor also reflects on the spiritual aspects of solitude. For those on a spiritual path, solitude is often seen as a way to connect more deeply with the divine or with the mysteries of existence. Batchelor discusses how solitude, particularly in the context of meditation or contemplation, can lead to a profound sense of interconnectedness with all beings. It is in the stillness of solitude that one may experience a sense of unity with the world, a realization that goes beyond the ego and the individual self. Batchelor emphasizes that spiritual solitude is not about escaping from the world but about learning to be present with it in a deeper, more meaningful way. Another important theme in the Art of Solitude is the relationship between solitude and the fear of missing out, FOMO. In today's hyper-connected world, the fear of being left out or disconnected from others is pervasive. Batchelor acknowledges this fear but argues that it is rooted in an illusion. He suggests that true fulfillment and peace come not from external validation or the constant pursuit of social interaction, but from within. The more we are able to embrace solitude and let go of the need for constant social engagement, the more we can find contentment in our own lives. Batchelor's perspective offers a counterpoint to the prevailing cultural obsession with social media and constant connectivity. The book also touches on the importance of solitude in relationships. Batchelor makes the case that healthy relationships are built on a foundation of self-awareness and personal independence. By spending time alone and cultivating a strong sense of self, we are better equipped to connect with others in a meaningful way. Solitude, therefore, is not about rejecting others but about learning to be whole and complete within oneself. Batchelor argues that it is only when we are comfortable with ourselves that we can truly offer something authentic and loving to others. Batchelor's exploration of solitude also involves a critique of the modern world's emphasis on busyness and external achievement. He critiques the cultural obsession with productivity, suggesting that this constant drive for more work, more social engagements, more stimulation, leaves little room for the quiet contemplation that is necessary for self-growth. In a world that constantly demands our attention and energy, Batchelor advocates for carving out time to simply be, without the pressure to do or achieve anything. In doing so, we can reclaim our own lives and focus on what truly matters. Throughout the book, Batchelor uses personal stories and reflections from his own life to illustrate his points about solitude. His experiences as a Buddhist practitioner and his travels to remote monasteries and silent retreats provide a rich backdrop for his ideas. These anecdotes lend a sense of authenticity to the book, allowing the reader to feel as though they are embarking on a journey of discovery alongside Batchelor. His personal journey becomes a guide for the reader, offering practical wisdom and insight into how one might cultivate a more mindful and intentional approach to solitude. Batchelor does not present solitude as an idealized state or a panacea for all of life's problems. He recognizes that solitude can be uncomfortable and challenging, particularly in a society that values constant activity and connection. However, he argues that it is precisely this discomfort that makes solitude so valuable. In confronting our own thoughts, feelings, and fears, we can cultivate a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Solitude, in this sense, becomes a transformative practice, a way to strip away the distractions and false identities that often cloud our perception of reality. In the final chapters of the book, Batchelor reflects on the relationship between solitude and death. He explores how being alone with our own mortality can be a source of profound insight and clarity. By confronting the inevitability of death, we are reminded of the preciousness of life and the importance of living authentically. Solitude, in this sense, is not just about retreating from the world, but about preparing ourselves for a deeper engagement with it, one that is grounded in the acceptance of our impermanence and the impermanence of all things.